Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unpredicted Party, the only Middle-earth TTRPG that will finally answer the question, why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mordor? I am your humble lore master, Don Marshall. Around me are my internet friends. Say hi, internet friends.
Hello.
Hello.
Joining us for a record, is this your 4th episode now?
I think so.
Yeah.
Longest guest ever.
Starting to feel like I've overstayed my welcome a little bit. So hopefully I die this episode. Or...
You're here forever.
Don't you say that.
There are other ways out.
I feel so I was just thinking about this as I was getting ready for this tonight. I was like, these guys are, I'm not usually somebody who thinks people are secretly mad at me, but I was like, these people have to be secretly mad at me. For
No.
No, you're here forever.
No.
Yeah.
If live chat is any indication, they either want you and Tori to like have at it and kill each other or make out. One of the two.
The amount of
or
comments
have
I've
in
seen.
Porque no los dos. Like,
I
Roll
love
the
the kind
dice.
of I love the kind of woman that will actually just kill me.
yeah.
All right. Before we get to any murder, let's thank our sponsors, Free League Publishing, without whom this stream would not be possible. Free League sent us advanced copies of their TTRPG, The One Ring. It is the system we are using. It is a fully fleshed out version of Middle-earth. If you would like to order your copy, whether it is the bundle, the starter set, the core rulebook, the dice, the maps, go to freeleaguepublishing.com today. Special thanks to the folks that let us take our notes in very fun D&D books. The Rook and the Raven. You can go to therookandtheraven.com for some really cool accessories and notebooks with the little dividers that like really help you sort out all of the characters you make, because you don't actually play, you just make characters and think about it. Okay, so it's not just me.
Do they make trapper keepers?
You know what?
Because-
If they don't, I can ask Deja. I can certainly.
Nobody makes trapper keepers anymore. Like that's a brand. And I was recently trying
Oh.
to find a dinosaur trapper keeper for my husband, and they no longer exist. And
Oh no. All right. Well, I'll Max, you're a blacksmith, and I know probably a couple of leather workers who are my mutuals.
Yeah.
Let's get something started.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks to the Rook and the Raven, you can go to therookandtheraven.com for all of your D&D accessories. I've completely lost the script that I was supposed to be following. No.
That's whatever.
We have merch, but it's at a new link because my merch team changed things up again. So just go to the link in my bio and click the thing that says merch. I don't have it memorized yet. We'll figure it out eventually. A bunch of you have been asking for Flubberworm merch. The answer is maybe.
Yes.
Make it happen, Don. Or I'm gonna keep bringing it up. It'll never die.
Yep.
You were going to do that anyway, Max.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, we may have a break at the 1 hour mark, depending on how long this goes. Very special thank you to a few others. Sarah M. Shunky, who does some of the incredible artwork. You can find her at Sarah M. Shunky on Instagram. The battle maps are done by Little Wit, the cartographer. You can search his services on Facebook. The music is done by Cullen Vance. You can stream all of his music on Spotify, Bandcamp, iTunes, Apple, or not iTunes anymore because they're going to get rid of that Apple Music, whatever it's called these days. You can also buy his music and pay the man directly, cullenvancecreative.com. Lastly, a special thanks to my wife, Nat. She goes by Nat20Wife on all social media platforms. Nat, thank you for helping me organize all of this from the very beginning. I love you. Okay, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that you always thank your wife. That's so great. It's the right thing to do. This makes me happy.
Let's go. When we last left off, the 4 of you, with Tauriel leading this army of 9,000 elves of Mirkwood, defeated several thousand orcs pretty handily. Halwith managed to kill the commander on turn 3 after maxing out his scan check roll. He also managed to use some really crafty magic, like the Pokemon move Razor Leaf. By the way, I play Scarlet now, in case
I
anyone's...
play Scarlet. It's great.
Nice. Oh my God, we should... Wait, Tori, you also play. We should have
I have
like a...
Violet. Yeah.
Oh my God, we should have like a Pokemon live session.
Also, I
live
need
stream.
Violet to help me complete my Pokedex. Sorry.
There you go.
Okay, well, we're gonna make this happen. It's okay.
Okay.
It's you missed the Pokemon craze, Charlotte. It's fine.
You nerds, we're playing One Ring, dang it.
I know, I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's the Pokemon.
the Pokemon move Razor Leaf successfully used by Halloweth and his newfound elven magic. Beary with it was pretty perfect. Max, utilizing the amazing way to keep track of your inventory, flammable liquids that you got from episode 4 to explode the tarred arrow. It just well done. I do want to make a brief note before we continue, though, because I went back to the previous episodes and saw your kill count. And so far, Halloweth, you had 4 from the time you ran into that orc scouting group way back in episode 5 with Justin and Haldir.
1, I believe.
4-1. And Beary, you had the 1 because you rode up on the chariot and knocked one's head off. You can also both add Mordreth to that because it was a collective effort.
Mhm.
And we don't count Galadriel. We don't count Elrond. Strictly speaking, you could count Gandalf, but I feel like that might be in bad taste. So no.
There were some orcs early on that we encountered with Halbarad. I said the name right.
Yeah, that was
And then
that
I
was
think
those were the 4. Those were the 4-1 when
okay.
they started the count.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if I remember correctly, you haven't killed any or so. If I'm right, it should be 88-76. Oh, the Fell Beast. That's
Fell
right.
Beast.
Okay, so that puts you at 89. And okay, cool.
I
So
feel like a
you
fell beast should count for like 10.
still
Nah.
only
No,
counts
it-
as 1.
I know
Still
it
only counts as
as one. I'm just saying.
Tell that to Gimli and Legolas.
So
Oh,
80
wait,
If
you
they
can-
weren't dead.
All right. Yeah. Well, welcome to the world I created, where I like to kill all the main characters and give the who remains trauma. Anyway.
Try it.
Really
Try
instills
it.
confidence.
Mhm.
So happy to be here.
Okay. So with the counts being 85 to 70, 84 to 75 last time,
It was 80, yeah.
plus including the 4 that Halloweth had the last time you fought with Justin in episode 5 or 6, as well as the Fell Beast, Halloweth's count is now up to 89 kills. Beary, with the 75 you had last session, plus the 1 you had in that same session you had with Halbarad, you are now at 76. So Halloweth, 89, Beary, 76. We shall see how this continues.
And I'm excited for it.
All
Oh
right.
my god.
We are going to pick things up a day after the battle. Because as night fell and you saw that the orcs had fled, there was a wave of exhaustion that hit you all. You'd been fighting for hours, and the bodies of a couple hundred elves lay around you. This was a huge battle. You haven't had the chance to count it up yet, and Charlotte will role play this, but I can tell you the exact number you lost of your 9,000 in the battle. However, as the battle fades and the rage begins to subside, you feel this overwhelming sense of exhaustion among all of you. The elves would know this, especially being well-versed in warfare. And you begin to collect the bodies. I would ask, Tauriel, are there any commands you would like to issue right now to the orc bodies and what to do with them, to the elf bodies and what to do with them?
How many dead elves are there?
It takes you a few hours to check, but the number you lost was about 350. So
Okay.
it wasn't many. This was definitely a large scale battle, but you were prepared. You did well. So you're down to about 8,700, or excuse me, 8,650 right now.
Okay. And how many orcs?
Of the 4,000 or so orcs that you estimate are in this army, about 1,500 fled. The rest lay strewn about the forest. And you spend the next few hours just putting out the fires in the trees. Nothing too bad. The explosion that Beary caused didn't seem to do a lot of damage, but there is now a pretty decent sized crater in the middle of this, road on the clearing that we're fighting on.
How big is the crater?
You rolled 5d6 max, so I'll say you could fit a full-sized body in there. It's like one of those World War I trenches from a shell. It's pretty big.
It's the size of one body.
It's roughly the size of one body, but it's wide. That's how deep it is, but it's wide. It caused a pretty nasty explosion.
Like how many bodies could we put in it?
A lot.
Like how many?
Probably
1,000?
not 1,000. No, I'd say you could theoretically put a couple hundred in there, but pile the bodies one on top of another to create a sort of like pile up to the trees of elvish bodies.
What about the pits that Halloweth dug?
Those are pretty deep. You could utilize those as well.
Okay. So I don't want to. I'm still thinking this through before I act it out. Is it possible to fit the orc bodies in all of the pits that we have?
Probably not. That'd be you could certainly dig out the pit if you wanted to bury them. You could also burn them as
We're gonna burn them.
Okay. Okay, cool. So if you burn them in the forest where the crater is, you risk the trees above you getting pretty singed and potentially destroying the forest.
Right.
If you want to step out of the forest and like move all of the bodies to the edge as like a warning, like step in here and try us.
Like that idea.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like Tauriel. That doesn't feel like an elf move. So so after surveying the damage, getting some counts of all of the bodies, Tauriel sets the able-bodied to dragging all of the elf or the orc corpses out of the woods and filling the pits outside to capacity.
Okay.
I can create more.
If you can create more,
Mm-hmm.
create a couple more.
I'll use my magic to like make some big ass fucking pits.
Yeah, there's a lot of orcs here, Halloweth. So go ahead and make me a lore. Yeah, make me a lore check. Usually you would have favor, but I think after the battle and how exhausted you may be, I'll just have you make a regular roll for lore.
Yeah, okay, it's pretty good still. 31.
31. Wow. Okay, great. Yeah. You sink your fingers into the earth and it takes a little bit more out of you. Like you're pretty drained after this. But the ground opens up underneath you and a long, almost trench line of space opens up in the ground.
Will I have enough to fill these pits? Then I'd like to create a. Is there enough for them all at this point?
I think for that many orcs, I'd ask you to make another lore check if you wanted to have the ground cover it instantly right away. These are some big magical feats that you're attempting to do in a row.
I don't want to cover them again. I just want to make it large enough
Tauriel's not going to ask him to cover them again.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Zach, repeat what you just said.
I don't want to cover them all again. I don't want to use my magic again to cover them all. I just want to make it wide enough that we can put all the orcs in the pit so that they can be burned safely.
I think, yeah, I think with a 31 on lore, it's going to take you several hours to like get this going because this is a lot of earth you need to move and literally, you're in touch with the forest a lot more.
Sure.
But you sink your fingers into the ground and it opens up in front of you and it takes a while but yeah, there's enough space that you can safely start
Bef-
this pit.
Before then, I kind of just motion to Tauriel and say, like, I can do this, but you must require your people and yourself to leave me be for a few hours. I wish not to be disturbed.
Of course, we have other matters to attend to. Those matters being dragging bodies out of the woods. And while they're doing that, she issues a separate order for the bodies of the elves to be set aside in a different place, not in a pit, but wrapped, carefully laid out, sort of in a circle around each other. And we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll come back to that.
Sure.
And if I may, Beary might be going a little rogue if there's room for it.
Go ahead, Max. What do you got?
As you know, the orc bodies are being drug away. I'm sure there's a lot of down branches and things like that. He's pretty much building a pyre if he's allowed. At least he's beginning to.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Yeah. So first he's using his tools to make holes in the dirt, in the clearings, out away from other trees, using his tools to make rows and rows and rows of indentations into the dirt. His width of his hands wide and 2 hands long, and building a little trench down the center of them, feeding them all, building ingots. And he's building wood pile, line of orcs, and then all of their shields, armor, swords, wood, orcs, steel, and just piling it as high as he can, kind of by himself in this kind of reverence. And he's going to light it up and make iron.
Okay. Beary.
Love that.
Yeah. Make me a craft check, please.
You got it.
Oh, okay.
If I may. I mean,
Oh.
honestly, like that's the intention. It can go any direction.
No, we'll see what happens. We'll let the dice
Okay.
decide.
There is a 6 involved.
Okay.
29.
29. All right. So the way orc armor works is that it sucks. And it's really, yes,
Bad.
it sucks. It's terrible. So even with that great of a roll, I will say that you struggle to find any of this metal that could be considered what you would think of as pure, right?
He's
There's-
looking for just something, just a basic pig iron material that he can use later on.
There's a lot of slag. It's a
Good
lot of ways.
terminology. Look,
Thank you.
I was
Yeah.
impressed by that as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big World War I buff. And so there were literally, like Tolkien describes some of the towns that they were in. There were so much, there were so many shells that they melted them all down. And there was literally slag just like in the streets of those towns that he was in. It was
Just
nuts.
love the film 1917 then.
Oh, I do. One of my favorite actors is in that, actually.
Really?
Zach Smith. Yeah. I don't know if you
Oh.
know him. He was right next to the guy that ran into the actor that got hit in that long trench run.
This is the
scene.
worst and most shameless plug I've ever done.
Not, I guarantee you, live chat's going crazy right now. It's like
Well,
Zach
yeah,
was in
yeah.
1970.
Yeah, I was about to say, what?
Yeah. Did you not know the story?
No.
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know that, and I feel bad now that I have not seen 1917 because everybody went
We're
crazy
famous.
about it, and I was just like,
Ah.
my soul is not ready for another war film.
That's
okay.
fair.
It's a really good one, and it's heartbreaking. It was shot in one fluid shot.
I know.
Cuts.
Amazing.
It's really fun, and I had a great time shooting it. So
Well, shit.
That's bananas.
Oh, with your friends. Anyway, yes, Beary. Roll me 2 d12s, please.
God, yeah. Oh, well, I rolled a 6 and an Eye of Sauron.
Okay, that's okay. That's
So it's a
okay.
1.
So it's a 1. Yeah, I'm not counting this as like degrees of success. It was more numerical. Yeah. I would say you, for as many bodies as you piled on, and as poor quality as the armor really is, you only get about a dozen or so ingots that are even worth anything.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Just
Yeah, and as
giving.
like as the oxygen flows in and the fats begin to render and like kind of create like a grease fire, I'm
Mhm.
imagining that, that hot iron coming down the little trough and filling up the indentation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Dozen's great. That's perfect.
Beary, what is going through your mind as you witness the aftermath of what I believe is your first major battle? Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He hasn't seen or done much of anything. I think, well, he definitely kindled these hatred for orcs. In that moment, he's never felt hatred like that before. We'll get to that maybe one of these days. And but I think he's really burdened by a lot of sadness, and I think that's primarily due to all of the elves that are fallen, and probably seeing the expressions on their comrades as they tend to them. It's a lot of years lost, and especially as he's drawn closer to a couple elves, names not be said. Yeah, he's pretty heartbroken. So as he's tending to the flames, as he's watching the pyre burn down throughout the night, he's sitting with his pig and he's drinking that clear liquid that he got from Radagast. We're sipping on it a little bit.
You are.
Yes.
Oh God.
Okay. Now, Charlotte, I do need to fill you in on this because this was not a part of the backstory I thought was going to get mentioned, and we are about to get really weird in here. Okay.
Cool.
I don't want to derail it so bad.
No. This is exactly what
Go right
needs to
ahead.
happen right now.
I came here to
Oh,
get
boy.
weird.
Okay. Halloweth, Tanel, the two of you spend hours taking care of the orc bodies, laying the elven bodies in a sort of reverence, covering them. And after a few hours, you do notice that Beary has kind of gone off into a clearing and is burning sort of his own pile of orc bodies and what looks to be some sort of, mechanical contraption of getting iron.
Terrifying ritual.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And what you would see is Beary sitting next to Gorge, arm around him, just kind of muttering to himself. You would also notice, the three of you would notice, that the elves that Tauriel sent away to take care of Gollum come back and are now in the area. And you would all notice that Gollum is pretty attentive. And Beary, you look at Gorge and he looks at you, but what you do not see is the fear in Gollum's eyes as he looks at you. I would ask you to please roll me a D12, Beary, to see what effect this drink will have on you again,
Okay.
because you've already used
What
it
is
once.
happening?
Yeah. Do we elves notice the
Are you
Gollum's
trying
expression?
to the elves would notice Gollum's expression.
Okay.
Beary, you do not. So Charlotte, just as a brief recap for our audience, about 7 or 8 episodes ago, they went to Radagast's tent, and Radagast attempted to sort of placate them and assure them that nothing was wrong. But the Gwai here had actually visited him and said, look, you created me, which in Tolkien's lore, Radagast was one of the creators of the Eagles. So I'm not going to kill you just yet, but stay out of my way. So he's basically loaded up on, he's basically terrified and not getting involved until the Blue Wizards came and sort of encouraged him. Before the Blue Wizards, though, showed up, he offered tea to the party members, and the tea had some wizard concoction that was really only meant for wizards because it induced a number of daydreams and out-of-body experiences. Halloweth felt himself float into Tanel's body and felt the unbridled rage and also the confidence and non-confidence that exists in Tanel. She is the duality of elf. And
Can you imagine
Beary
it being like, I'm in a chick's body?
Beary, however, started talking to Gorge. Can you tell me what you rolled, Max?
A 5.
You rolled a 5. Okay. Please hold.
I don't know what this does.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Also, we're gonna come back
Oh.
to this thing about Radagast and Gwai here later.
Yeah.
Questions.
Beary, as you sit in front of the fire, looking at Gorge, kind of having that expectation that maybe he'll talk to you again.
It's exactly,
Yeah. He does.
Makes you so happy. Okay.
I'm glad you're not hurt, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Likewise. I don't know what I would do without you. That was a hell of a battle. I've never seen so much death in all my life.
You made a lot of orcs explode.
It was great. It felt really good in the moment, but not so much now. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I'd be pretty worried about you if you enjoyed killing.
In the moment, it was amazing. I could spend 1,000 years skinning them alive, pulling the fingernails out. But now, after I've calmed down a little bit, I never want to feel that way ever again. It was awful.
You might, though. This probably won't be the last battle you fight.
Oh, hopefully not. Quite a bit. Quite a bit is expected of me. I feel like, yeah, I'm not. I feel like I have to endure a couple hammer strikes or two until I'm done being forged. But I mean, is it always like this? I mean, look around you. Is it always this empty?
I'm you right now, Beary. Only you can answer that.
Or am I you?
No, we talked about this last time.
Oh, you're right. You're
Imagination and I'm a figment and projections and...
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm very happy you're here. And, well, I have every reason to just soak this up. And he kind of, gestures Gorge to the roaring flames as the shield and armor and swords kind of get melted down. I should just relish this, especially after losing him. But I don't know. What if they have little oaklings like myself back at home that are gonna miss him and be torn apart because they don't have him anymore? What about the oaklings? Does it make me feel any better? No, not at all. Help me. I don't know what to do.
I can't say anything you wouldn't say yourself.
That's right. I am talking to myself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, me.
Mm.
It felt really good there for a moment. Felt great, actually. Felt freaking awesome. Especially when the hammer got really going.
It's a good hammer. It's a good hammer.
It's a good hammer, and I've just been drenched. Oh, I'm still covered in oak blood.
You are. It's a little terrifying.
Oh, that's right. There was a moment where I never wanted to be dry of oak blood. I wanted to be wet forever.
That's disgusting.
Swimming in it, yeah. And I wanted to drink it. I wanted to sup from every orc that has ever lived after losing him. But now, no longer. And I don't know what to do with that.
Have you talked to them about it?
Who? The orcs or the dead?
No, your friends.
I like to talk about them, not me.
Yeah, I know. But they've been surrounded by death and sadness and all for thousands of years. They might have
They've got
coping
practice.
Yeah,
They've got
coping
practice.
mechanisms.
I should talk to them, but not right now. I'm too sad.
Also, you're a little bit drunk on whatever this is.
If I get to talk to my pal, it's pretty good. But only little sips, so we got to save it because I don't think he's going to make us anymore anytime soon.
No, you did steal this, so like.
I borrowed it. This is important work.
You
We're
gonna give
saving
it
the
back?
world with this. I might have my eureka moment.
What eureka moment are you looking for?
Well, I sure can't bring him back,
Nope.
but kind of pulls Gorge a little closer. But if I can create things that can stop people feeling like I do now or I did when I lost him, if I can create things to make this all stop, then you know what? I could just sit back and live a happy life.
Beary,
Mm.
nothing you create can replace your feelings.
Well, that could be argued.
And the moment fades and he goes back to squealing.
Oh, Gorge.
Gorge.
What would anybody else passing by witness?
Yeah.
Anyone passing by would just witness like, Beary, why don't you?
Well, I'm curious if Beary is oinking or
Right.
if just Gorge is oinking.
Is he talking and then is Gorge oinking, or is Gorge just staring at him?
It's
Because
a
his entire
little-
conversation's in Beery's head.
It's a little bit of muttering under the breath that you can kind of hear, but it's not like, it doesn't sound like he's saying anything of substance. And the boar is every once in a while just like in that same way that like a dog nuzzles up to you. It's like, yeah, hey, what's up? This is nice. We're
He
just
looks like a
kinda
drunk
hanging
guy
out."
talking to his pet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect.
Okay. It's understandable
all,
after
have
the day
you
we've all
seen-
had.
That there is a fan fiction of the Unpredicted Party from
Oh,
Gorge's
yes.
point of view.
Yes, I forgot to
No.
mention that. Oh my
It's
God,
so
I'll send it to
lovely.
you.
Yeah, don't send me that. It's
Oh
fine.
my God, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Has
didn't
anybody
realize
done
my
art of
heart-
you guys yet?
I'm
We've had a
not-
few people do artwork that is
We need
someone
art.
did, someone
Mhm.
did the Gandalf Infinity Gauntlet hand with the Elven
Yes.
Rings of Power.
Mhm.
I'll explain that in a little bit, Charlotte. And someone
That's
made
okay.
all Magic the Gathering card characters.
No way.
Yeah, I
What?
have to find it.
Yes, please.
I'll find it.
Should we describe our characters? Because they might not know what we look like.
Oh, I
Have
already
you
sent.
ever described your characters?
Yeah, there were images that came out. I already sent the
Okay.
person that
Okay.
asked to make
Yeah.
them your Hero Forge builds. Like,
Yeah, we've got
Yeah,
the
no.
Oh,
hero
you guys have
forge.
Hero Forge builds?
yeah. Yeah. We don't use them anymore because I changed the format of how things look so we don't see the person, but people know what Tauriel look like. I can make you one, or you want to make one
No,
yourself. I
no.
can
People
put
know
it
what
up.
Tauriel look like, but I haven't seen any of these guys. So
I'll send them to you. I'll send them to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to know.
Yeah. So, Max, the evening fades as you sit in front of the fire. The elves continue their work. Halloweth, you are exhausted. You sleep. Elves typically only need about 4 hours of sleep, but this is a full 8 hours. Yeah, you collapse. I will ask, however, Beary to please make an awareness check for me as you sleep.
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Uh-oh. Oh no, I got a dot.
A dot.
A dot, singular.
It's a fail.
It's a failure. Okay. Beary. The
I don't
mountain,
like this.
the mountains that you see in your dream stands before you, tall. As you gaze out in front of you, a vast army of dwarves, tens of thousands strong, all ready to fight with one goal that you know. It's to take back the mines of Moria, your home, your lost homeland of Khazad-dûm from the orcs. You see your father and his companion, the one that convinced him to go, standing next to him. And as with every other dream that you have previously had since Alatar laid his hand upon you when you left Rivendell for the second time, Alatar is again standing behind you, and you are standing to the left of your father, seemingly in the ranks of these dwarves. And you hear the companion say to the father,
Today, we take back our homeland.
Which is new for you because most of the dreams that you've had up until now that have told you this story of your father have been silent. And your father looks over at the friend, he gives a stiff nod. And you see your father turn his head and make direct eye contact with you and say,
A dwarf should know the name of those who fight beside him. Forgive me, I did not ask. Who are you?
and the dream fades. We'll pick things up the next morning. Tauriel,
Oh my god.
what are we doing once all of the orc bodies are disposed of and burned and the elves are laid to rest?
Well, I don't think it's fair to say that that work has been completed yet. I mean,
Okay, fair enough.
I know the
Uh,
elves are tireless. They probably work through the night.
Fair.
But Tauriel is going to order one more day of rest and cleanup, and perhaps there are little injured animals that need to be tended to, and who knows what state the forest is in. Does the path need to be cleared? There's still a lot more work to do.
Sure. Okay.
So they do that work throughout the day. The orc bodies are burning unceremoniously as the pits fill. They are set alight. A wretched reek fills the air.
Yeah, it stinks.
It's not a great time. But what I would like to know is whether there is anybody among all of the elves, and maybe specifically among Tauriel's brass, who themselves have any magic ability or nature affinity.
I would say none probably as strong as Halloweth would. The elves of Mirkwood are pretty in touch with nature. They literally live within the roots and the cave systems in the forest of Mirkwood. But the magical power that the elves have has been fading for years, and only the strongest of the elves can really tap into it, unless it is taught, and it is also a natural affinity that some elves, Feanor is a little bit different than like Arwen in terms of magical power.
Sure. Okay.
What are you trying to do?
I would like to build a bier over the bodies of the elves, like just a natural formation of earth and wood that would be, sort of kind of what Halloweth's got going on, that ability. So if nobody else has that ability, then I think the thing that Tauriel would do would be to approach him after he is up and about and offer him a fortifying beverage and say, thank you for your help yesterday. Thank you for all that you've done for us. How are you feeling?
Like I could spend another day in exactly the same position.
If you did do that, could I ask of you one more feat with nightfall?
Of course.
Take the day as you need it. Gather your strength. We're at your service. Meet me before sunset. And I'll tell you what I need.
How that's gonna take and say, is there some limbus around?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
He's gonna take take a bite, just get first, and then he's gonna look around and just take another. Look at it, he's gonna take another.
Impressive. Okay, wow. So we're at like Hobbit level limbus consumption.
It was a long day.
Yeah, so basically this is a rest day, and Tauriel's people are at Halloweth's disposal. They're also at the others' disposal, though, in a perfunctory way, probably. Beary gets the next level of help that he requires. Tanel gets the bare minimum.
Nothing. That's fair.
And she will probably also observe that there's never a guard far from her. Just got eyes on her, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one, you gotta watch this one.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's anything else that needs to happen throughout the course of the day.
I'll ask this. Beary, Tanel, is there anything specifically you would like to do while you're still in Mirkwood before you make your way out to the plains of Rohan? Otherwise, we can skip to the evening.
Yeah,
On the rest day, Tanel is gonna periodically throughout the day just find tallest tree she can, get up to the top, and just make sure there's nothing coming.
Yeah, go ahead and make
There's no other movement.
Yeah, make a given your trajectory and your elf eyes and how high up you are, make me a scan check with favor.
All right. Okay.
Come on, 10.
18. So I beat my target number
Yeah.
by 7.
With an 18, I will say that you do not notice any orcs in any of the surrounding area. You are safe for now. I will say though, with an 18 and your elf eyes, you do notice off into the west, closer to where Rohan is, there does seem to be movement in a kind of squiggly line that seems to be going in a general direction, in a kind of path of least resistance, heading northeast-ish, closer to where Lorien may be. From this distance, you probably don't fully see what it is, but there do seem to be a large group of people heading northeast. Not quite your direction, and you're still,
Okay.
on the opposite side of the river, but you are close enough that you can see it.
Perfect.
Interesting.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Tauriel, the evening comes, and Halloweth, if you are still willing, you can come out of your tent and do your thing.
He does. He kind of he's gonna take is there any, I don't know, alcohol just available readily?
There is alcohol. There is
There needs to be
alcohol. I would. There's wine. There are spirits.
And
and
he's gonna take like a sweet. Is there any like? Actually, he's gonna turn to Beary.
Smart move. So there must be like brandy. If they have wine, they have brandy. Cool.
yes,
Down.
He's gonna say, I don't think I've ever necessarily asked you this. Are there any dwarven spirits that you think really give you a good kick?
How long after the pyre scene is this? Is this a
About-
day?
About 24 hours-ish.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, do we now? Yeah, so we specialize in rooty tubers, right? Potatoes and things that grow underground, very much like us. Oh, yeah, we distill them down into righteous, fantastic spirits. It actually lightens our spirits too.
Well, I'm assuming you don't have money on hand, but in this moment, if anything sounds good, maybe next time you come across some, we'll share some.
You have yourself a deal, my friend.
Good. We'll take a little drink for every actually that's too dangerous. I was gonna say
No, keep going. I
Like 80 shots. That's like 80 shots. Be careful.
We can do it.
In the next battle, whoever wins out, we shall drink the difference and even it up.
My
Or even
friend,
or with shots.
I love this idea with all of my might. Actually, let's start now.
Oh my God.
What was your numbers again?
I believe the difference currently is 13.
Where's the wine? We need yes. Don't give me that look. We need a fine elven lass to give me 13 sips of wine.
unfortunately, right about now, it becomes apparent that the elves are gathering for some sort of ceremony. And this, if you're going to do your carousing, you're going to need to do it very quickly. Likely, there will be carousing after the fact.
Um,
But if you guys want to get a little in before everyone gets all sad, you better do
say,
that shit quick.
I'm gonna say I was just gonna take one for now before I do my stuff. And then
Not
I'll-
to metagame this at all, but Beary, you were offered by Thranduil, and you would have in your possession 2 bottles of wine as well as the spirit from Radagast.
He's gonna be like, yeah, like he's gonna have like just out of his coat pocket.
Where did you get that? No. Where did you get that bottle of wine, Max?
What I've been sipping on, a little Sangiovese.
Oh my
Don't
God.
question.
You pulled
me.
a bottle out of your jacket. How long has that been there?
No, he put it in there first.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God! I totally
little
missed.
I
sleight of
didn't see him
hand.
do that either. I
Those-
was like, what just happened?
For those listening on the podcast, Max's lighting is such that it literally looked like he had been keeping an entire bottle of wine in his jacket for the
Just in case.
That
Listen, always be
Amazing.
prepared.
always,
Always
you never have to get ready if you stay ready.
That's right. No, I think Zach or sorry, Halloweth
And maybe also Zach. Maybe Zach needs to
are
get
gonna, yeah, you know what? Because like there's something about awake, right? When you lose something, you realize how special they are around you. And especially that Halloweth came to him with this. Oh yeah, it's on. He's gonna pull his private little stash out, boop, pull a
Okay.
cork, and we're gonna start the count now.
Just
Okay.
one- yeah, we'll have one for now. I need something to get me going.
Yeah.
Are you using? Are you using the wine? Are you using the Radagast beverage or?
Oh, should we roll for it?
Which one we're gonna use?
So
It's gonna be a mystery.
Beery, only you know about the beverage that you stole. Halloweth would have no idea.
And it is definitely in arm's reach.
Oh,
Odds
God.
are even, Zach.
Oh, I'm gonna go odd.
Are we pre-gaming a funeral? Is
Yes.
is that what's happening right now?
Zach, which would you like with odds?
Give me. I'm actually really intrigued to see what my magic is like on this Radagast thing. I want to know
Okay.
what happens when I do this.
Oh man.
Well, the
I want to know
dice
how
have
strong
spoken.
this could be.
Plus 10.
His the bottle that he does pull out is something he's been sipping on for the last day. It is not red. It is clear. I found this at that funny looking guy's house. It's great. I feel like it really opens the pores of your mind. You know what I mean? Opens the pores. Give it a swig.
He does so.
There he does
Oh.
too.
Okay. Halloweth, Beery.
The guard is on Tanel.
Poor 10 is under surveillance, and we're over here just
We're just
Over
like-
here humming elven morning songs as you two are
Friggin'
like, okay, we're
misogyny.
sorry, 10. Where are you? You should be joining us.
Beery, Halloweth.
Yeah.
Roll me d12s, please.
Okay.
I rolled a 5 again.
A 5 again. Okay.
Roll a 4.
You rolled a 4. Okay.
Did not realize
So
that we were
excited.
having this happen.
Hang on
This
one
burial
second.
mound is going to look like a hell of a thing.
Oh,
It's gonna be something. I don't know what it's gonna look like.
I don't know what it's gonna be. Also, I said
That's-
beer earlier, B-I-E-R. I meant barrow. I'm
Just
getting
want to
my
state for the
beans.
record, I did roll a Gandalf.
oh heaven.
Oh
and
man.
a 5. Interesting.
All right.
Beery. You look down at Gorge. And he doesn't start talking this time.
You little tongue-tied pig. What's going on with you?
Halloweth, you feel a very familiar sensation to the last time you drank some of Radagast and that little brew, and you feel your consciousness begin to ascend to another level.
Oh shit.
And Beery, you feel the exact same thing. And in an instant, Halloweth, you
Am I-
find yourself
Did we just
looking
freak
at yourself, and Beery, you find yourself looking at yourself.
No, this is terrible timing.
Oh my
We
god.
can't do a Freaky Friday now.
Are you kidding me?
Wizard magic, baby.
Varda is watching, bitch. This is not.
I
Oh, man.
rolled a Gandalf.
Oh,
Okay.
Frickin'.
What does this mean? Do we sound like ourselves, or we just sound like the
Yeah,
opposites?
if we start talking, do we sound like the other person?
If
in
you
the
start,
distance, you begin to hear the elves singing. It's starting, baby.
oh, Elbereth
Gilthoniel.
There we
Mhm,
go.
it's happening.
There we
It's
go.
happening.
Magic, let's go.
All right, Beary, you attempt to walk and find yourself double the size you're used to. As you exclaim, you hear Halloweth's voice.
Oh my god. Am I gonna try to sound like okay?
Halloweth, you exclaim and also hear yourself sound like Beary.
Fantastic.
This is too much.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Well, it's time for some magic. Let's go. Let's do this.
My god.
How does the
Hallett's going to go to the ceremony and begin, and he's going to kind of.
Well, hold on. I want to set the stage here for a
Yeah.
second. So you can see the bodies of the elves. They're now shrouded. They're arranged. They're prepared. And all of the elves, everyone's cleaned up. Everyone's looking nice. They're wearing whatever the nicest thing is that they've brought with them on the road. Tauriel is in a dress. She's in a gown. She's got a bodice that's sort of like an armor type looking thing for a little fit, a little warrior.
Little Renaissance but chic kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Hair is loose. Everyone's feet are bare. It's a very like Midsummer Night's Dream, woodland, elven sort of hippie gathering.
As long as it's not actual midsummer, then that's the
It's
Midsummer Night's Dream.
yeah. No, I meant the
Yes.
movie with Florence Pugh
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
terrified,
Oh
No,
yeah.
scarred me.
No,
for-
no.
Okay. Anyway,
no,
sorry.
not
Carry
that,
on.
not that. What is our weather like, Don?
Clear evening.
Clear. The stars are burning in a clear sky. And Tauriel stands at the head of the arranged elf bodies, watching expectantly as the two of you approach.
I need both of you to make athletics checks with ill favor, and Tanel, I need you to make me an awareness check, please.
Yep. Mhm.
Tauriel, you can make an awareness check as well.
Wait,
Oh,
am I
okay.
using my athletics or am I using Halloweth's athletics?
That's an excellent point. Halloweth, please tell Beary your athletics, and Beary, please tell.
You get 4, baby.
You get 3, and your target number is 12.
Okay, yours is 11.
Ill favor, by the way. Ill favor.
I rolled a Gandalf.
I rolled 2 eyes of Sauron.
Holy shit, this just got real.
Oh
Okay,
my god.
I'm
I-
doing
I
it. You
think
said
my
I'm doing an
target number by
awareness
4.
check.
Yes, make an awareness check. Zach, sorry. What did
I beat the target number by 4.
Okay. I will describe the scene thusly.
Okay, sorry. And mine is 12.
Did you beat it?
So
Your target number?
No.
No. Okay.
I did-
Okay.
Wait. No, I did not.
Okay. So, Tauriel, everything seems fine. You do not notice what Tanel notices, which is that Halloweth and Beary are sort of off in a corner for a moment, take a swig of something, and you watch, Tanel, as Beary takes one step and walks normally, but Halloweth falls flat on his face.
Jesus Christ.
A full face plant into the dirt, comes up with dirt and mud and leaves and branches all in his long hair.
The elves
I didn't realize we
gasp.
actually switched bodies. I thought we just, in our minds, thought we did.
It's unclear to you at this point, given what you rolled, what exactly is going on, but you see yourself through Beery's perspective at this
Oh
moment.
God.
Okay.
The elves gasp and cinder in.
Cool. So Tanel, with as much grace as she can muster, walks
Which
up.
is a lot. Which is a lot.
Which walks up as Halloweth is picking himself up and picks himself up and helps him, picks the leaves off, and says, "I don't know what you did, but get it together."
Beary,
And just
answer her.
and just
This is all wrong. This is so bad. Thank you. My legs have grown longer.
Tanel, make me an insight check with favor, please.
Oh my God. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on. Oh, well, that was an Eye of Sauron, so that's good.
Right now, like Beer's doing like squats in
Mhm.
his new armor. Is like, I got the fit very well.
Mhm.
This is
Tanel?
lovely.
I don't beat my target number. I miss it by 2.
Okay. Tanel, you're not entirely sure, but Halloweth just said something that doesn't make any sense.
No.
He's
And
just doing weird
she
stuff
she
with his
doesn't.
hands and-
Yeah, she just like grabs him and puts him down to his side, and she genuinely doesn't know what to say to Halloweth, and just lets go, and just stares at him for a second, again unsure of what to say, and then slowly steps back into the mourners that have gathered.
The
Right.
thousands of mourners.
That have gathered.
And there's
right.
and, like,
Thousands.
Very
for anyone looking, she is white knuckling her fists, but she has no idea how to. She's not going to reprimand him. For the love of God.
Tauriel, you see Halloweth walking a little bit strangely
like stilts.
into the group. I'd say it's less like stilts and more like a little bit of a vertigo you get from being on top of a skyscraper with like a glass building. You're still able to walk.
It's
but
like
on
when
two-
both legs go to sleep and you're
Mhm.
walking all through the
Mhm.
pricklies. You're just like,
Mhm.
ah.
Yeah, it's weird, but you can manage. Tauriel,
Mhm.
what are you doing as you see Halloweth approach?
Tauriel's face is just a mask of starlit horror as these hijinks unfold. at
You have
her.
no idea this is happening, by the way. You're
Right, but like she just watched him wipe out, right?
Yes. No, you missed that. You missed that. You're just
I just thought
you-
I couldn't discern why that happened.
No, you failed your
I don't
your-
see that.
You did not see
okay.
that happen. Yeah. So
Okay.
Tauriel.
Well, have they managed to regain themselves and continue on their way at this point? What are they doing as she happens to look over?
You see Halloweth walking towards the group. And Beary.
Ah, very good. Then Tauriel nods and steps aside and makes a small gesture for Halloweth to take a position beside her.
Max, what are you doing?
Makes his way over and doesn't really understand what's happening, but he's kind of catching on a little bit. And as he leaves Tanel's side and Din and joins Tauriel and just is trying to like strike he's trying to fit in. So he's trying to strike poses.
Yeah.
His hands on his hips,
elvishly.
he's readjusting them.
No rolls
You know how elves
needed on.
stand.
Yeah. No rolls.
Yeah,
needed.
what do I do with my hands?
No rolls needed. Tanel, you immediately clock that Halloweth just called you Tin,
Mm-hmm.
and you know immediately what has happened.
Oh God. Just
What is Beary doing?
deducing that she knows that they drank something. That just happened. She like as stealthily and non-disruptive as she can, like follows behind them, like, okay, whatever horrible hijink is happening right now, I'm gonna find a way to fix it.
All right, Zach,
Oh, God.
I
you
love a
watch
hijink.
Zach, you watch as your body strolls next to Tauriel as you standing there about 3.5, 4 feet tall. Wonder What's happening?
I think I've clocked fairly easily what's happening, considering I'm 3 feet tall and looking at myself.
What are you doing in this moment?
Okay. I'm gonna roll up your sleeves. I'm gonna sort of wander my way over. I'm kind of getting used to the fact that I'm not nearly as fast as I used to be, and I'm gonna realize that now is the time, and we're gonna see what magic comes out of me at this point, because this will be something.
Okay.
That's what he
Tauriel.
said.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
You're in a Ferrari now, so you better buckle up.
Holy shit, Max. Okay.
Blue
Well-
wine up my nose.
Tauriel, you watch as you gesture to Halloweth, and both he and Beary step forward simultaneously.
I was like 10 feet behind
Tauriel.
them.
Tauriel just does one of these slow head turns, not quite understanding why. And I think it's likely that this is happening so quickly. She just doesn't process it. She just watches it happen.
Well, how often does this happen?
Never, literally never. This has never happened.
Beary.
And the elves, she has like elf maidens around her and guards.
It's an
and
elf
people.
funeral. Yeah.
It's an but like they're all just sort of watching elvishly. To see.
No, but that really painted the best picture.
Is there
We
like
all
a
know
dance?
exactly what you mean.
Is there a funeral dance or a procession going on?
Let's
Wait. We need Zach. We need to catch up with Zach. This is all
Right.
happening simultaneously.
right. So as this is sort of happening, Zach, are you sinking your fingers into the ground? I saw you gesture doing
Please,
that.
yes, please,
a
yes,
couple
please,
of seconds
yes, please,
ago.
yes.
Yeah.
I want this. This is how I
Okay.
visualized it
Okay.
in my head.
Tauriel, you watch as both Halloweth and Beary sort of step up to this sort of inner circle almost. And Beary reaches down into the ground and plunges his hands into the earth.
Can I do another awareness
Yes, you may.
roll?
Yes, you may.
Zach, give me your worst British accent.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
A worse British accent.
No, don't really. I'm just.
I just rolled a
at it.
19.
Ooh.
My target's 13.
All right.
Okay. Do that one more time, please.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Halloweth, you assume that you still have the magical power despite the perception of your current point of view being from Beary's body, and Tauriel having succeeded her check quite well. Tauriel, the dwarf sinks his fingers into the earth, squeezes, and nothing happens. You see a couple of elves around this circle glancing at you, glancing at the dwarf, glancing at Halloweth. Beary, what are you doing right now? And I mean Max.
Okay. I was about to say which Beary.
Beary, the consciousness Beary, currently standing at about 6.5, 7 feet tall.
Is there music?
Tauriel?
Well, there's not music. There's singing. There's
elven
constant-
chanting.
There's
Is there
constant- if
any?
you
Is there,
visualize like the Gandalf's morning scene where it's just constant music all around.
he's going to be like
vocalize it.
on the balls of his feet, just kind of bouncing a little bit, and just feeling very lighter than he's ever felt before. Feeling very, just very light and bouncy. Just kind of like staying on the balls of his feet, and then lunges over to Tauriel and just really trying his best to not freak out a little bit. And just kind of turned to her. And, you were fantastic back there. During the battle.
She stares at him. Because we're not talking right now. We're not having a conversation right now. She doesn't say, she just stares at him like, do you know where you are?
Sorry. Yes. And tries to join the song. We're gonna do song.
No.
Okay, all right, hold
We're
on.
gonna sing.
Idea.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
okay. Hang on.
Okay,
These
all right, go
three-
ahead.
Hang on. These three things are going to happen simultaneously. And I know that we crossed it out because we said we weren't going to use it. But Beary, please give me a song check, which is a skill that we weren't going to utilize. But give me a song check, 1d12 and 2d6s.
What
tell
can we?
you what it is.
Okay.
Hold on.
We're singing. Oh, I rolled a Gandalf with 2 4s.
Okay. That's the first thing. Okay, that's one thing that's happening. Tanel, what do you got?
Okay, well, so Tanel is going to take like a couple steps forward to bring her to like the front of the line, so that the idea is if Body Halloweth does not also kneel down, she is going to walk up and kneel down with him, so it looks like a group ceremony.
Okay.
But for right now, she is just going to go right to the front line.
Okay.
Tauriel
Zach.
is looking at her like, you better fix this and you better fix this now.
Okay. Zach, in Beery's body, what are you doing?
Okay, he's going to kneel down to Beary, down to his own body, kind of look up and say, I'm going to talk you through this, right?
Okay. Here's how I'm going to do this. Max, you rolled a Gandalf. And Tanel, you are joining in Max, who is currently in Halloweth's body, in whatever he is doing. Max / Halloweth. The moment that you see Tauriel react to you, you realize that there is something that you have missed, and around you, you notice that all of the elves have begun to chant. O Elbereth Gilthoniel, Silifren Penamiri, all of that stuff, right? I don't have to sing the full song, but like we can. The words come to your mind as if Halloweth's memories and your own have merged together. Tanel, you would also know this song, so you would also kneel down and touch the earth. And Zach / Beary, please make me an awareness check with favor, please.
Oh, you get
No. Use your own stats.
Oh, there we go.
I'm still me, I guess. Okay. 22. I beat my target number by 10.
Okay.
Jesus.
You would feel compelled, though you are in Beery's body, a sense to mirror what your body is doing. And the three of you kneel down, and all three of you place your hands into the earth.
I'm still going to say to Beary, I'll say kind of quietly, I'm not going to chant with him. I'm going to say, the magic is a part of nature, okay? It's a part of the love and the connection that we have with it. Now, I know that you don't have the same sort of one, but I do believe that you have a certain love for Under the Mountain, and of stone and rock, and the way that your people used to sing to it. It caused up feelings and emotions that you feel when you're on the ground, when you're working with stone, with metal, with iron, with rock. That feeling and connection that you have with the craft that you have, the making of things, of tools, of substances, and the feel and connection you have when you touch a certain stone and know what it feels and what it is, and when you want to grow halls of your own. Connect with that part of you and feel and sing.
I would like all three of you to make lore checks with favor, please. Max, add another d6 to your lore check roll.
Can Max roll to not cry? God, that
No,
was
that's
amazing,
impossible.
Zach.
That
That's
was amazing.
impossible.
Oh my God. Well, it wouldn't be unpredicted party if I don't cry once at
Mhm.
least. Okay. Lore, right?
Lore check with favor, and you add an extra d6.
Gandalf.
Another Gandalf. Another Tauriel, baby. And a 6.
Tanel, you rolled a Gandalf,
I did.
and Max, you rolled a Gandalf.
This is the best
And-
what if I never knew I needed.
I know.
Zach, what did you roll?
I rolled a 23, which beats the target number by 11.
Jesus. Okay. The three of you, no, let me do it this way. Tauriel, you watch as Beary uncharacteristically sinks his hands into the ground. And immediately Tanel joins him, kneeling next to him. And you watch as Beary mutters something to Halloweth, but you can't quite make it out. And the three sink their fingers into the ground as the chanting seems to grow louder and louder. And you watch as little roots and shoots of green begin to sprout up underneath the dirt where they put their hands into the ground. The green begins to travel outward from their body, and it approaches the pile that has been laid so reverently of the fallen elven companions. The greenery shoots up and begins to grow, and the roots of the trees just outside the clearing begin to move underneath. The elves standing around them feel the earth move underneath their feet, and the roots begin to climb above all of the fallen elves and cover each individual body in a reverent sort of like a cloth draped over a fallen soldier's casket kind of way. The perfect symbol of a burial ground for those that gave their lives to defeat the enemy. And the three of you look up and watch as flowers begin to bloom from outside of the roots, and a moss begins to cover this burial ground. And out of the corner of your eye, Tauriel, you see for the first time in nearly 1,000 years, a butterfly with bright blue wings flutter past your shoulder, past the three, and lay very quietly, wings outstretched under the starlight in the center of your fallen comrades. The moonlight begins to hit the butterfly's wings that the two of you begin to feel your consciousness go back to its normal state. But many of the elves stand there with tears in their starlit reflected eyes as these three strangers lay their companions to rest. And it is not lost on you, Beary, or you, Tanel, or you, Halloweth, that a dwarf stands in the midst of an elven funeral working magic. I would like the three of you to add 4 fellowship points and 1 hope point each.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Tanel and Beary, you may also add 1 extra dot to your lore checks.
What?
And Halloweth, I would like you to lower your target number for lore checks by 1.
Yes.
Dude.
Love this for
Love
you
this
guys.
so much.
I love this.
Oh my god.
Shenanigans turned into something wonderful.
Power of
Is
love.
that then my entire wits?
So your wit score would remain the same for all
Oh,
other
yeah.
wit checks, but specifically for lore, you
Gotcha.
will make it 1 less.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're going to go ahead and take our 5-minute break there.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
That was amazing. What the hell just happened?
Oh my god.
We did not plan that. We were halfway
No.
through this and I started texting Don, like, here's what I need to have happen. But like, I did not know that we were going to
Oh, we didn't know we were going to switch bodies?
I didn't know
Oh
we
my
were doing any of
God.
this shit. We just made this up.
Oh my god.
I fucking love this game.
The best.
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
Don. I don't know what you had planned, but we're doing magical friendship funeral.
Yes.
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 So
You're
we're
damn
doing-
right we are.
Yeah.
You're damn right we are.
Oh my god.
Nice recovery, gentlemen.
Well done. Well
From
done.
2 Eyes of Sauron to 2 Gandalfs and almost doubling your target score. Or no, I'm sorry. Did you double it? Zach, was that?
Damn close.
For that final lore check, what did you roll?
I was close. It was 23. My target number was 12.
That's pretty
God,
close.
yeah.
That's
Pretty
that's
pretty
close enough.
Hail the
Damn.
victorious
My
dead.
lore is very high.
Hail,
Hail.
the victorious dead. All right. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Welcome back to our second half of the Unpredicted party. To fill you all in, because I don't know how this is going to work. Our 5-minute break turned into an hour-long break. Zach left to go get wine. We've all been drinking for the last hour and just talking. And that's going to be on After Party or another episode of Tipsy Tolkien or something eventually. When, I don't know. But we are going to pick things up an hour later in real time and the next morning in game time, because I don't even care what happened. Nothing else we could have role played that day could have topped that. So well done, all of you. We will pick things up the next morning as the army breaks camp and begins to move out. Now, Tauriel, I would ask you first, is there anything specifically that you would like to do? Because you have a couple of options and I need to know where you want to go. So, Tanel, would you have mentioned the column of people?
I was about to say I would, if we want to RP it, we absolutely can, of sharing that information, because Tanel would actually check again first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Just to make sure there's not any more. She's just a little paranoid.
Sure. I don't even think you need to make a scan check since you know where to look. You would notice that the column has gotten closer towards you. Again, still on the other side of the river, closer to the Fangorn area. And it is larger than you saw yesterday, but it looks as though it's moving pretty slowly.
Okay. All right, cool.
All right.
Then I would
approach Tauriel.
Respectfully approach Tauriel and keep my distance and ask whatever guard has been shadowing me this whole time to request an audience.
The elven guard says, "Give me a moment." Walks away. About 5 minutes later, if Tauriel gives her approval, comes back and says, "Commander Tauriel, we'll see you, but keep it brief."
Yes, it will be brief.
Very well. And gestures for you to follow her and leads you to Tauriel's tent, which is in the process of being sort of broken down.
There's not much left. Her bedrolls and all of that things have been put away. So it's just basically the bare tent.
No. We
Tauriel.
established this. There are 4 elves that make up your bed frame that kneel
There's
down.
a very
on
nice
hands and
quilt.
knees.
They've
Remember,
been
because
allowed to stretch and put some clothes on.
yeah,
Wonderful.
because I had the gall to suggest that you were also in a bedroll. Anyway, sorry, carry on. That's just a me thing.
Yes.
Mhm.
So yes, everything's been put away, but she's looking over some, some scrolls and making some notes and things. But her eyes flick up from what she's looking at as you enter, and she waits for you to speak.
I don't know the specifics of your plans, but I know that you may be dividing the forces, some going to Lorien, some heading towards Rohan. There is movement in Rohan heading vaguely our way, more towards Fangorn. It is slow moving and not in the way that we just saw the orcs. It's a meandering line. But I wanted you to be...
My scouts have also seen this. What are your concerns about this line?
I just wish to inform you in case you hadn't known.
You deduce correctly that I'm dividing my forces. I was impressed with your performance last night. I've spoken to my guard. You will be free to move as you will.
Thank you.
But if you have no further insight on this gathering, I've been apprised of this matter.
Thank you. May I request something? Small. Whatever forces are heading towards Lorien, could they pass along a letter to Commander Haldir? Just so that he knows that you do indeed come in peace.
Very well.
Thank you.
Okay. Tauriel, do you want this, or excuse me, Tanel, do you want this letter to say anything specific?
I'm just going to text you it.
Okay.
It's short and sweet.
Sounds like a plan.
It's a very small letter. It's maybe a sheet of parchment. And she says, whatever commander you do give this to pass along, if they do encounter the enemy, can you just request that they destroy the letter? It doesn't have any specifics other than my name, but it in the wrong hands. Perhaps I'm just being, I don't know, just could they destroy it?
Certainly. You're not divulging anything about our position or our plans.
No, absolutely not.
Very well. She'll be done.
Thank you.
Tanel.
Hmm.
We'll speak later about last night.
Yes, we can.
Very good.
Yeah,
You're ready.
with that clip taken wildly out of context by the live chat, I'm just guessing here. Yeah. You exit the tent, Tanel, and Tauriel, it is around this point, Haldir comes up to you and goes, Commander, if it is all the same to you, I would request to head to Fangon myself and help the refugees. If nothing else, we could give them supplies and potentially bring them to Gondor if any are willing to fight, or perhaps if the trees would lend us aid.
How many do you propose to take with you?
That I leave in your hands, but to build the bridge and carry what supplies may need after what those three have told us, 500 at most.
You shall have them.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
And you. And Haldir ushers herself out of the tent to make preparations. Halloweth, Beary, I would like you both to make awareness checks for me as you go about your day.
Okay.
Gracious.
Oh,
Succeeded.
you succeeded.
First time ever.
You succeeded in an awareness check. That's
I
amazing.
did.
Congrats on being aware.
I also succeeded.
You both successfully pass your awareness checks and are cognizant enough after the swap that happened last night that as you sort of find each other in the mid-afternoon after waking up with a little bit of a headache, you're a little bit woozy, but you do find each other and are cognizant and remember everything that happened last night as you make eye contact.
Beary definitely approaches Halloweth and just kind of hey, quite a wild night last night, wasn't it?
Indeed, it was very unexpected, but not altogether unwelcome.
Oh, unwelcome. I mean, yes, quite unpredicted, if you'd say. How
Not
do you
altogether-
feel?
Not altogether unwelcome, so it's all good.
Oh,
I'm so tempted to add 6 HP to the final boss, but no,
We referenced nothing. What are you talking about?
you said the title. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
you said
Carry
the title.
on.
Whew. Yeah, it was actually quite beautiful. I've never felt the ring of my own voice before. Your voice, I guess. It's weird.
It is very bizarre, but regardless, it's a new experience which I certainly have never felt, and I don't know many who have. So I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me to do so now, probably not. But the fact that it was a surprise and it happened the way it happened, I would never take it back. That was wonderful.
I agree.
I feel like when I was inside of you, I feel like I understand you a lot more.
That's an extra 50 HP to the final battle.
I've never known a dwarf and an elf to be inside each other before.
Mm,
This was
I'm cutting
It was
all this
wild.
out. I'm cutting all this out. This is at least an R. We are approaching NC
No,
17.
no,
No, we're not, you baby.
you baby, come on.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It was a truly wild
Don, when you're
experience.
having marital relations with your wife, are you like, honey, we have to call the censor?
I've muted her. Anyway, right. Carry on, you two.
It was
However,
a truly just a wild experience, to say the least. I'm glad we had it.
as am I. Where's Gollum?
Where is Gollum? Do we see him?
That was my next question.
I assume he's still under guard.
I hope.
Just gonna make a fucking
Fucker
stealth
better
check
be.
and ruin your day. Hang on. No.
Yeah, I was about to say
No,
we were
don't
listen.
do
No,
this to us, Don.
we were all at
no.
a funeral. Did he
Gollum's-
sneak away while
Gollum's still there. He is
Oh, thank
under the
God.
watchful eye of the elves. And he is, in or around Tauriel's presence enough that you've got an eye on him and guards have eyes on him.
But there would be standing orders that once we get on the road, once we're moving, Gollum will be rescinded to Beary's care.
Oh,
as
yeah. Oh, I
per
know, I know,
our
I know.
agreement.
Okay, that's right.
As we attempt to get this caravan to move out, Tauriel, I would like you to please give me an awareness check with favor on this one, just because you're on your home turf.
It's a 22.
22.
Yeah.
As you exit your tent, you begin to notice a gleam coming out of the corner of your eye. And there is a kind of sparkle that you did not notice as you have been in the woods before. You glance over to the clearing where you buried the elves, and it is shimmering in a kind of glint.
I'll
you
walk
approach?
over there.
Okay.
I will approach.
You glance down at the intricate series of thousands of roots overlapping that have created this almost tiny plateau. It's only a few feet high, but that encase these elves in a burial ground that is almost sacred. And as you touch a finger to it, you notice that it does not feel like tree bark, and instead it feels like stone. All right. We are going to move to our travel portion of this episode.
Oh, yeah, sure. We'll just do the travel part real quick.
Fine.
It's fine. It's whatever.
I needed sunlight to make the rock stuff happen, guys.
Listen. I didn't come here to be attacked like this.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Just gonna eat my corn.
I'm gonna cry into my corn.
I'm gonna cry into my corn. I love corn. It's corn.
It has the juice.
I don't know
Okay.
if it's clear to anybody in the live chat right now, but we've clearly been drinking for the
I'm
last
so sorry.
hour.
We're
It's,
We've lost the plot.
no, we
Oh, it's
haven't.
fine.
In
We're
fact,
here.
the
No.
plot
Bring plot.
is exactly what I needed.
Yes.
So I will ask for the travel portion to happen. As we discussed previously, and you had mentioned, the bulk of your force is going to go to Gondor, led by Philareth, your second in command. You are going to accompany the party with a small entourage towards Rohan to see if you cannot gather the forces of the Rohirrim and either win Wormtongue's favor, or it was hinted at that you would potentially take it by force.
It's the
Halloweth did-
exact same.
For those listening on the podcast, there were two fingers across the throats in this Zoom call.
Both of them women at the same time.
Both of the ladies.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Perfect.
yes, assassination was mentioned by one dark brooding elf, Halloweth. Ravandir is going to take a small force of 500 to Lothlorien. Your entourage will travel to Rohan. The rest will go to Gondor. I would ask then that you all make travel rolls to see what the rest of your trip is like. So one of you, please make a travel check. One of you, please make a scan check. And one of you, please make an awareness check. There are 4 of you, so I will allow Charlotte, if you would like to just roll a d12, you can add that on to whichever roll is the worst, like we have previously done.
I am favored in travel now, thanks to Beary's
Little
thing. So I shall do travel. I could not bracelet. Could not think of the word for a second. Everything's
If I
fine.
can do scan, that'd be fantastic.
The West.
All right.
Oh no. Okay.
And Tauriel, you can just roll a d12, add it on to the worst of the rolls.
I did. I just rolled a 1, so I think mine's
Ooh,
actually the
okay.
worst of
Okay.
the rolls.
Okay.
Well, wait,
well,
but wait. If you give me that one, I hit my target number exactly.
You may have my
okay.
1.
Okay.
Go.
My 1 is yours. And my
Okay.
axe.
Halloweth.
I roll a 10.
Okay, that does not beat your target number. Beary.
I rolled like ass. I failed.
We all failed. We all failed.
Okay.
So bad.
Okay. The afternoon greets you as you leave your home forest of Mirkwood, your forces, Tauriel, dividing into 3 different portions, the smaller of the group going towards Rohan with you. And the thunder cracks begin, and you see storm clouds. And as you continue to walk southeast, the rain picks up. And you do still need to cross the Anduin. You will also need to cross part of the Entwash that flows out of Fangorn. So it's going to take you a good chunk of time. Given the rain and the flat, if not hilly terrain, I will say that your journey with the flooding of the Anduin and being unable to find a shallow point will mean that you take the next 6 or 7 days to reach the borders of Rohan. And it has gotten so hilly now to the point where you have lost that caravan that you were keeping an eye on, Tanel, and that you were aware of. And
Darn.
there is just a torrential downpour that seems to last for 1 day and then 2. Beary, I would like you to please roll me a d12. I need to see your interactions with Gollum, please.
Oh dear God! And also during the rain, he's gonna have like a cloth shawl over his head and just be shouting at Halloweth, "Can't you sing us out of this shit?" I rolled a 6.
That's good.
That's great.
Love that.
Amazing.
He
Amazing.
probably should be able to.
You can certainly try if you want.
You know, he's going to. He's fuck it. He's going to go, I'll try. And he kind of just proclaims to the heavens, I guess I will.
Okay. Lord check.
Okay.
Do it, Halloweth.
Do I have advantage or do I not?
You do, but it's not necessarily. Never mind. Just roll.
Okay. Hang on, let me calculate some stuff. I beat my target number by 17.
What?
I don't know why. I don't even know why I bother anymore.
I rolled-
Beary,
I rolled a 28 and my target number's 11.
Then I'll start
Beary,
singing like, I can see clearly now.
Beary, as soon as you yell this on the 3rd day, Halloweth grips the ground underneath him, digs his fingers into the grass because there's no trees around here. And the rain starts to subside.
Now that's better. I rolled a 6.
You rolled a 6. All right. Oh, right. This was a Gollum interaction before our drunken shenanigans.
Also, while he's in the cart, he does tie his hands up again on the other side of
Okay.
Gollum's hands.
Ooh,
Equals.
that's a 4. So Beary, you succeed in most of your small talk with Gollum. He doesn't talk a lot. He mutters to himself under his breath, and it's a lot of the things that Frodo and Sam sort of saw that he can't really help himself but say. And if you want to, I'll allow you to role play sort of a conversation in the midst of this week or so that it takes you to.
As we're in the cart, Beary kind of looks. It's torrential rain. This is I'm assuming before Beary yelled at Halloweth to stop the rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, are you cold? You wear nothing but a rag. I've seen your balls like 3 times today. Do you want some clothes?
What's balls, precious?
No, we're not doing this.
Hey, let me. Beery's gonna search his pack, and he's going. Shh. Beery's gonna search his pack and grab an extra cloak. And he's gonna wrap it around Gollum's shoulders.
Okay.
And he's gonna give
where his balls
him
are.
clothes. Huh?
Shut up,
Said his
Charlotte.
shoulders aren't where his balls are.
Shut up, Charlotte.
During the rainstorm, he's gonna throw an extra cloak over Gollum's shoulders. You look cold, my friend.
He kind of not really sure what to do about this, but grabs a side of it and just brings it into himself and kind of huddles.
It's okay. It's okay to be cold. I mean, I get cold sometimes. I mean, I know I got like kind of a lot of fire in me, but I get cold too, and that's okay. It's raining.
With these lots of fire, we saw the dwarf with the fire. He was very hungry, precious. Yes.
Very.
What makes the dwarf so angry? He wonders.
How about we talk about the fires like at the top of the tower?
Make a persuasion check.
I dropped my character sheets over here. Okay, I got it. Okay. Oh, forgot I dumped a bunch in there. There we go.
Yeah, you did.
There's a 6.
Okay.
18. It beats my target number.
18 with a 6. The blanket around his shoulders. Gollum looks up at you and goes,
"The tower has crumbled," the orcs say.
Completely. There's like, okay. Is there still? There's a bird, a great bird,
Yes.
a flaming bird.
No, just a walking bird.
You said wait, not a flying bird, a walking bird.
Birds. The bird walks like you and flies like birds. Shut up.
Don't worry about him. It's me and you right now. Okay, so if I get this right, it's a shapeshifter of sorts. It walks around, it flies.
He hasn't heard anything about the shapeshifters, precious. Just a walking, flying bird.
It walks. It does that awkward kind of bobby walk. It does. Okay, that makes it kind of silly. That's kind of fun.
No.
Okay.
No. It walks.
Good talk. I'm terrified, but good talk.
Oh, oh.
And he huddles just back into the cloak and turns away from you. And
Maybe
your
most of our conversations with Gollum, I think.
Tanel, Halloweth, Tauriel. Would any of you like to do anything in this week? Preparations made, things to search for.
I mean,
Not on my part.
Sorry, Zach, can you repeat yourself?
I'd like to find some medicinal materials to be able to craft some healing salve.
Yeah, go ahead, and I'll allow a scan or an explore check.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
On a really good scan check, Halloweth, I will say you do find the medicinal herbs that you know grow in the south. It's not Athalas. That's more of a northwestern part. Off the top of my head, I don't actually remember what the medicinal herbs of the south are called. It's also Athalas because that's in Gondor as well. But we'll just say you find some roots and herbs and flower petals that you know are medicinal, enough for 2 health potions. Or if you brew them down, you'll be able to, like the Miravor, basically, that you still have.
Halloweth. That's amazing.
Okay, good. What exactly are the qualities of like just in game? What are they?
So in game, actually make a medicine check. We'll see what their qualities are here.
Do you want me to make a healing check?
Oh, I'm sorry, healing check. Yes, sorry, I'm in D&D.
I was about to say that's a 5e thing.
Which this system does have a module for. So like,
Got a 6. I beat my target number by 2.
okay. You beat the target number, got a 6. You create 2 health potions, things that will sort of revive you for 12 hit points apiece.
Dang, nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Amazing.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Okay. Meantime, Beary. On the 7th day, you hear Gorge go.
You smell something?
Bolts immediately off to your right.
Beary is bailing like Starsky and Hutch style out of the cart and just taking off after him.
Okay, Gollum
Great sprinters.
bounding along with you, tied to the rope.
Oh, Gollum's getting dragged.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
About a half a mile later, Gorge spots a cave.
Oh, even better. Wait, hey, what have you found?
I would like you to make me an explore or a scan check, please.
Okay. 26.
26. With a 26, you have no problem seeing that this is a fairly rudimentary cave, right? It's mostly plains and hills. That's why Rohan is the way it is. There's not a lot of like rocky crags, but this seems to have been some sort of fissure that created a kind of almost disparity in the depth. And on the side of this hill, you dig your pickaxe into it and you find tin.
Oh goodness,
Tin.
Ted, are you
Yeah.
all right? How long have you been here?
Just her face pops up.
There's an imposter.
The metal, not the character.
This is fantastic. Yeah, so we're in a caravan with only a couple of us, right? We delineated from the rest of the troop that's going to Gondor.
You have, and the 3 of you watch as Beary, Gollum, and the boar sprint off without another word in the opposite direction you're usually traveling, as he brings out his pickaxe a half mile down the road. That's like a quarter kilometer ish.
Yeah.
Zach, just for
Sure.
you tosh ass.
Why
I know. I'm
Leave
just...
him alone.
He knows how far
I've seen
a
on
half
the
mile
meme,
is.
like I've seen when England and the USA were in the World Cup together, I got so many people sending me the whole like George Washington with an American flag with explosions going off. Like, what the fuck is a kilometer meme going off? Oh no.
It's a favorite to use.
Yeah,
I'm so
I
sorry.
it's very funny.
Mm,
I
good.
did enjoy it very much, but I got that so many times.
Okay. You find the metal tin.
Okay.
And I would ask the three of you, are you waiting for Beary? Are you giving him this time to mine, or are you continuing on your way and hoping Beary catches up?
No, we'll give him the time. We've stopped.
Yeah.
We've stopped so far. We'll give him the time.
It's,
I mean,
it's,
we're sure as shit continuing to go. Like, the caravan's not.
all right.
stopping.
Yeah, then we'll pause.
Well, I mean, there's no, I mean, so
Zach, is
Tauriel,
this
Like, don't we? I mean, I would think that Tauriel would have brought like a few of her people with
yeah,
her.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. We'll
Right.
say Philareth went to Gondor, Ravandir went, but you've got a few others in your command. You guys just
Okay,
going to
so I'll say
continue?
this. We'll stop. We'll probably it will take us a hot minute to notice that we don't have everyone.
Mhm.
Mm.
And upon stopping, particularly Gollum would be the one that
Ah, yes,
he would
yes,
be
yes.
the most alarmed about. So at some point, Tauriel would look around and say, where's the dwarf and the creature? And everyone would stop dead.
Okay.
A search would ensue,
Mm-hmm.
and we will find everybody perfectly okay digging up tin,
You will.
Mhm.
which is not going to make Tauriel very happy at this time.
Oh, let's go. So I'm imagining maybe this could be Halloweth's time to hunt for herbs. Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, there
I
you
was-
go.
We can make those the same.
But like as he's digging, he's kind of like fighting the rope with Gollum, like as he's trying to mine. He's like, "Hi, put your back into it. Look, and come here." And he kind of grabs his arm and pulls him, moves the rock aside, and sees beautiful, unoxidized, silvery metal. Look at that. You see that? That, right there, my friend, is nothing but pure possibility. And that's it. It could be whatever you make of it. Would you like something? Look at this rock and tell me what you like. And Beary's very intense, like very close to his face.
For those listening on the podcast, my facial expression as Gollum has changed from disgust to wonder to confusion as Gollum looks around at you, Halloweth, and again at you, Tanel, finding no friendly eye, looks back at you, Beary, and Return nurse, precious. Return nurse.
Well, when you figure it out, let me know. But you need a digging tool because idle hands cannot be on this trip. And he's going to take the elven dagger that he stole from the not great elven guard that was guarding him and hand it to Gollum to use as a digging tool.
Gollum
that to do.
sprints north as fast as humanly possible.
Great.
Tauriel, it is around this time that you approach the group and you notice Gollum has sprinted north.
Oh, yep.
Well, she immediately dispatches two of her fastest people.
I'll make athletics checks for two elves and then an athletics check for Gollum, Tinel, Halloweth in your own time, whatever you'd like to do.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's an 18 for the elf.
She's really out here like, look at this rock. Isn't that? And he's just like,
Tanel is chasing Gollum.
So Gollum cut the rope with the dagger, I'm assuming.
yeah, he did. Yeah, because you gave him a dagger.
Trust is a hell of a thing.
Tanel
He didn't
is
stab your ass.
chasing after
You could try.
Gollum.
Make an athletics check, please. I rolled at, you have to beat a 11 plus 6, 17. You have to beat an 18.
22.
Okay.
I rolled
Get
a-
him, Dory.
I rolled a 10 and a 6.
Okay. You rolled a 10 on the D12 and
Yeah.
a 6.
And then a 6 on the die. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Takes you about 2 or 3 minutes, but you do manage to dive and catch the rope. But as he continues to like drag you through the mud, you manage to sort of plant your feet and
just
yank him there and goes, oh. And there's a moment of recognition when the eyes of Gollum go wide and look at you and go,
there's the strength lesser to precious. We've seen this house before. Yes. She let us go. But you let us go again there, yes.
No.
What?
You know too much about Mordor, and I need to know it.
We can tell you more if she lets us go.
Tauriel, you would probably start making your way closer to Tanel, holding Gollum right now.
Actually, right at this moment is when Tauriel approaches. At the moment, Gollum says, I know you. You've let us go before.
Damn it.
You could let us go again. That is when Tauriel walks up and says, what does he mean by this?
Weeks ago, I encountered him on the banks of the forest. I did not know what he was.
Not weeks, months, many days.
Tanel, please make an insight check for me, please.
Yeah. I really don't know. I guessed at the
No, you
What the fuck? I know what you're doing here.
yeah, I know you know what I'm doing. Tanel?
16. I beat my target number by 1.
Okay, on a 16, Gollum doesn't seem to be lying here, and you are aware that time and your perception of time does work differently within realms that have elven rings of power. And it is around this time you realize you spent more time in Lorien than you initially thought you did.
Oh my god.
Because it has now been, according to Gollum, not weeks, but months.
Oh my god.
That's canon, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Frodo mentions it to Aragorn on the boat about the phases of the moon, and Aragorn is aware of how the Elven Ring's magic works with time and your perception of it differently.
Yep.
So you now are further into your journey than you know.
Right. With that information, she sort of like just closes her eyes and takes a deep breath and says, please believe me in saying that I had no idea who he was or what he meant. He was just a creature on a riverbank.
I think that none of us really understood what it was this creature was or meant when first we met him. I believe you. Please go. Just in terms of, she gestures back towards like, thank you, we got this.
Yeah.
You're done now. And that's when she just snaps and 2 of her guards step forward and recapture Gollum.
Imagining Beary would be hightailing it to try and catch you up.
Yeah, despite being a natural sprinter, you didn't quite make what you needed to catch him, and Tanel's got him. The 2 elves grab the rope pretty forcefully out of your hands, and both of them begin to hold it. And they look down at you, Beary, who is just now coming up, and says, actually, no, they're going to look to Tauriel and wait for her command.
Orf, what were the conditions of keeping this creature?
Still holding his pickaxe. Well, I have made a mistake.
Indeed.
One, so far. I trusted this. Smeagol is his name, actually, if you care to know. Smeagol's his name, and I trusted him. But this Gollum is a testy little bastard. That's the one. Thought I'd give him a bit of room, a bit of trust, and he betrayed me.
And what did we learn?
Smeagol's great. Gollum, not so much. To split the
you
two,
able- Are you able to reconcile the two halves of this duplicitous creature at any moment? Can you tell one from the other?
Not really. I mean, the pupils are a dead giveaway, but it's only a blink away. It's pretty fast. I'm sorry. I truly am sorry that this has happened. I'd like to say it won't happen again, but I can't make any promises. This is
it
a
won't
very
happen again. Dwarf, you've rendered a great service to my people, and for that I am grateful. And today your life is spared, but you will forfeit to me all implements in your keeping of a honed nature, shall we say. Give me your knives. Give me your axe.
well. You see, my hammers aren't quite honed, so I get to keep those, right?
Your hammers can split a skull. They cannot split a rope. Is that correct?
Well, if it hit hard enough. No, I mean, yeah, you're totally right. No, not at all.
Your hammers you may keep. Give me your knives.
Goes through his bib and
Mhm.
kind of goes through all of his things. He hands over several knives, mainly sharp knives to cut leather and things like that. And if Smeagol is willing, takes the elven dagger that he rightfully stole and hands it over to Tauriel.
Oh yeah, that dagger got dropped instantly. He's just
Did it? Oh, good.
heavy.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that
no,
will not be
it's
spoken of ever again.
back.
And
It's
it will
back
not-
in the ground. It's back in the background somewhere. He just immediately left it and sprinted
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Yes, very well.
Tauriel
Definitely
is
not.
not, she does not look happy about this at all. She receives these implements grimly and passes them off to her lieutenants. But she believes that a lesson has been learned this day. And after the knives and axe have been collected, she indicates for her lieutenant to return the rope to Beary's care
Grip it rough.
and trusts him to take it more seriously this time. And then she returns to the path.
The elves hand over the rope, but there is a bit of eye contact between the two, as if they're kind of questioning whether or not this is the right decision, Tauriel. But they do hand over the rope, and Beary, Gollum, now back in your hands.
Gives a slight bow to Tauriel, but then turns his attention to Gollum and just slowly reels it in, just not playing any more games.
Don't kill us. Don't kill us.
Reaches over, snatches the little cloak that he put on and drapes over his shoulder, taking it back. Just holds onto it, go back to the mine. And is looking desperately for the elven dagger that was dropped somewhere.
Make a scan check for me, but Gollum is just as you're doing this, Gollum is just pacing along, just dejected as all get out.
18 for a scan.
18. Tauriel, make a scan check for Halloweth, make a scan check for me.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna.
Mm-hmm. Because Tanel ran after it and you stayed put.
I
Oh,
have 2 dots on my
Character sheet.
scan I rolled a 1, 1, 1.
Womp womp.
No.
Wow.
Wow.
No.
Halibut.
Guys.
What are the chances of that? That's crazy.
That's
Really
incredible.
high. Really high.
Oh my god.
Or excuse me, really low. Those are
Yeah.
really
Really
low
low.
odds. Halibut, you weren't even aware that Beary had a dagger, let alone handed it to Gollum. So this whole moment for you has just been a blur. Tauriel, make me a scan check then.
Halibut's just bending down, looking at the ore, and he's just like, it's tin, right?
Mhm.
Or is it carbonized iron? I don't know anymore. Listen.
13, which does not meet my target number.
Okay.
Hmm.
Last chance. Tanel, I will allow you to make a scan check.
Alrighty.
10.
Let's see.
Halibut's looking at the ore, and he's just going, I think that's nickel.
Nickel would be amazing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Tanel?
17. My target number is 11.
A small glint catches your eye, and there is an elven dagger about 50 feet in front of you as everybody else has gone back to the caravan of this motley crew.
She is going to almost like kick it up and grab it and just slide it into her boot. And keep
Okay.
walking.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
It is around this time, Tauriel, that you get back to your main force of what do you want to call it? Like you think you brought like a dozen or so?
Yeah, I
Or-
would say that's about right.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Your the 9 or 10 elves that are left with you in your little entourage. One of them comes running up to you and goes, "My lady, the caravan that Lady Tanel mentioned is in front of us.
How many?
Thousands, and they are all worse for wear.
Man or elf?
Human, but in manners such that we have not seen in this land before. Easterlings, Haradrim, Rohan, Gondor. It is a mass of people.
What direction are they going?
Towards us, I can show you. And he gestures to a hill about 10 yards in front of you.
She follows him.
Okay. He takes you up this hill, and from the tops, in the same way that like Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli stood at the peak of this ridge gazing out, you see thousands of people in a long line of a caravan. And there are goats, sheeps, cows, carts, horses, men, women, children. It's a refugee column. Dozens of people just walking here and there in tiny little groups, keeping to themselves. Alone, they could be, nothing you'd bat your eye at. Weary travelers. Together, it is a force of people unlike you have ever seen, but it's not a fighting force. As you reach the top of the ridge, you do see, I won't make you make a scan check for this, you do see that there is a horse that seems to be making some sort of zigzag pattern and is coming closer to you. I need to make a scan check. That's a Gandalf. There is the rider on top of the horse, starts waving his arms at you.
Okay.
Okay.
We wait to meet him. We wait to see if he comes.
Okay. He does. As he approaches you, it is just sort of at the top of the ridge. So Beary, Halibut, Tanel, you would be able to look up and see the this man on a horse. Elves in Rohan, do my eyes deceive me?
They do not. What is this? Who are you?
Helfan, son of Thimble, formerly blacksmith to King Theoden. We are refugees. There are good Lady Easterlings and Haradrim with us, but do not shoot. They mean you no harm. None of us do. What are you doing in the lands of Rohan, where it is forbidden for outsiders to ride?
We seek your kingdom. We seek your king. We've heard that something terrible has befallen these lands, but we have no detailed news. What has happened here?
It is folly to seek the truth in matters such as these. It is said by those who were there and by King Grima that Theoden was attacked by his nephew, Eomer, and his son Theodred tried to save him, but some sort of coup, treachery, we know not. I was not there, none of us. We know not what befell anyone, but what we hear of the Gondorian refugees, there is very little hope there as well. We were hoping to make our way towards Rivendell.
What force remains in Edoras?
When we left weeks ago, some held true to King Grima, others fled with Theodred, but none has been seen of Eomer and Eowyn. It is rumored that she has locked herself away in her room and has not spoken to anyone since her uncle's death.
May I ask, did anyone move to Helm's Deep?
Forgive me, my lord. I know not. There were rumors of horses riding hither and thither through the land, but with this many people and news such as this, it is a needle in a haystack which you seek.
And you go now to Gondor?
No, we've many that have fled Gondor. We seek Rivendell, the elven kingdom. We were hoping, we have heard tale of elves such as yourself in vast kingdoms in forests and valleys, yet none here truly know the way. Yet stronger we are together to fight off what evil forces may be in the lands north.
Tauriel shoots a look at the other elves, at the rest of the party, meaningfully, and to Nell says, "Tell him."
Finding any refugee or any safety in the Elven kingdoms is going to be difficult. Lorien does not stand anymore.
Huh. And Rivendell?
Not what it once was. The refugees from Gondor. Is there anyone I could talk to? There was supposed to be a group of Dunedain coming their way. I don't know where they are.
We have seen naught but each other. The men of legend gifted with long life, descendants of the Numenorians. Do they still walk the earth?
Yes, and they were supposed to be heading towards Gondor.
Huh. Dear lady, I am sorry. We have seen no men of old from those tales.
Did you receive news of Eladon and Elroy here? Sons and descendants of Elrond.
The High Elven Lord of Legend.
Indeed.
There was talk of two elven folk making their way south, but that was weeks and weeks ago.
You know not where they were headed or what became of them?
It is not oft that we see elves in this land. Master Helfa, I confess I know not more than I have told you. Have you any food, supplies? We took what stores we could from Rohan, but there is a reason we left.
Tanel looks to Tauriel.
Yeah.
What is this? Tell me this man's name again.
This is Helfan, son of Thimble. He is a blacksmith.
Spell it.
Helfan. Helfan. Helfan, yes.
Well, okay. So Tauriel steps forward and gently holds her hand out to, is he still on his horse?
He is still on the horse, yes.
Okay, she reaches out and puts a hand on his horse's muzzle and sort of pets the horse for a minute and exudes a calming energy.
The horse does begin to settle, yeah.
She speaks to the horse in Cinderin, and then turns to his rider and says, "If you will give me a moment to speak to my people." And
Of course, speaking to a Gondorian, as the elf maid requested, I may fetch one. A Gondorian, I mean.
I would like to hear news of the city, yes.
Our news may be weeks, if not months old, my lady, but
It's better than what we have now.
I shall fetch him at once.
Thank you.
I'm gonna
I know we've got
make
a
a
wrap
quick-
here in a minute.
quick
Oh,
roll,
you're
yeah.
fine.
Gonna make a quick
Oh
roll.
God, how many weeks have we lost that we didn't even know about?
God, you guys.
Oh no.
Tanel, as you wrap up this conversation, the
Mhm.
eyes of the rider flick over to Beary, and he stops it. He stops what he was about to say and says, "Forgive me, are you a dwarf?"
I am, yeah.
We have not heard news of your people from the mountains in many long months. Do the dwarves stand?
Nor will you. Yeah, they're hunkered down. That's what they do. They're plenty safe. Don't you worry.
Would they be able to? And he glances back at the caravan. Forgive me, I know not if you speak for your people, but
Well, first of all, what are you fleeing from? I mean, could you imagine if you mustered all of your forces together?
most of our forces are women and children and elderly. We have not a sword between three of us, if that. Protection is... We've heard tidings of great wolves being ridden by orcs, wargs, they call them, but we know not. Is there nowhere for us to... You asked where we fled. We fled Rohan. There is no food. King Grima sits in Meduseld with less than a half of his forces, and it seems in a disarray. The whole kingdom.
Heed me. Are you a man of ale?
I am.
Yours are a strong and proud people, and while you are together, your people will hold. Home is where you are, not where you go. If you can wait but a day, I will send for supplies for you and yours.
You watch as his whole demeanor changes. There's a quivering of the lip. There's a just look of hope for what seems to be to him the first time in weeks. Thank you, dear lady. I shall fetch the Gondorian. We shall make camp here. We move at but a slow crawl, but are we safe here? Have you come from one of the elven kingdoms? Is it safe here?
Sir, nowhere is safe, but we will do what we can for you. And we won't leave you until we know that you are provisioned and we have a plan.
Very well. And he looks at you, Tanel, nods, and rides back down towards the caravan.
Thank you. Tanel says to Tauriel.
That's why we came. So she'll dispatch 2 of her people, her fastest people, to turn back the way that we've come and go find the main force and see who she can bring with what supplies we can spare.
Absolutely. These 2 hop on the horses and ride off without a second thought. And I think there we are going to wrap up this episode of the Unpredicted Party.
God. Where are we going to send these people?
I don't know.
Thank you all so much for
Send
joining
them
us.
Anywhere.
The Shire.
Where are they gonna go?
I know.
Like,
Go to the hobbits.
Yeah, the hobbits. I'll take care of it.
Hobbits
Send them to
are
the
terrified
Shire.
of the big people.
I know.
who we send their asses to? No, we're gonna
Yes,
send them
Bree.
to Rohan.
Overrun Bree.
We're gonna overrun Rohan. That's what we're gonna do.
Rohan. They ran from Rohan.
I know they're going back. We're gonna overthrow Rohan.
Helm's
Thank-
Deep. Send them to Helm's Deep if there's no one there.
That's true.
But there's no food. How do we feed?
But we're
these
going to send
people?
them with food.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. What
Oh
could
my
possibly go
God.
wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
Thank you all so much for joining us. We will be on Patreon for the Unpredicted After Party that may or may not be an hour long. Sorry, this was such a long episode. I might split this up into 2.
We've already had
Um,
this 4 hours. We've been recording.
We've been here
4
for oh god.
Have
I'm
we
sorry.
really?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Thanks everybody.
double. It's been a double episode. It's been double.
It
I
has
think
been
it
a double
has been,
episode.
yeah.
We may need to split this in 2
No, just
after.
make it long.
After-
We've been recording for exactly a bottle of wine.
Welcome to the next part of your journey. Refugees.
Yep.
You go far south enough and you leave the timeline to advance months instead of weeks.
Oh my
King
god.
Grima. I don't like that at all.
Great. No, we need to go.
Yeah,
We need
fix
to
that.
absolutely.
We need to go beat
Beeline.
that guy up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
There's trouble brewing.
There's gonna be some fruits, but
Someone needs to kiss Eowyn. Who will it be?
That did not take long.
For those listening on
What?
the podcast, Tori raised her hand
What?
real quick.
What?
From one horse girl to another.
I listen.
Oh.
Since I heard. Well, I'll talk about that in the after party if we're not already doing that.
I think we might need to forego the after party
I
given
think
the
maybe
hour
Yeah, that's
in
fair.
the middle.
Well, then fair.
Schedule the
Then
after
say it
party
now.
Let
Then
me-
say it.
let
now
me
then.
let me say, as Tori, the second she heard about King Grima, I was like, cool, I'm gonna kill that man
right
and find
Have
Eowyn
that bitch.
and bridal
Let's
carry
go.
her out of wherever she is.
In slow
Ah.
Yeah,
motion.
Tori. Claim your wife. Let's go.
I love her so much.
I know. Me, same.
Yeah.
I just like looking at Miranda Otto's face.
That too. Yeah.
Just
A warm
Love
blanket.
her. She's just so.
for the soul.
Don't you love it when women?
I sure do,
It's true.
Don. I sure
Yep.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Max. Yeah. Okay. Well, we will wrap up here. I am so sorry this took so long, but
Nope.
oh
It
my
was
god,
amazing.
Didn't you
do it
all-
this way.
didn't you all just like come through in the most clutch way
This is
imaginable?
great.
I'm gonna
This
go
is
ahead and
great.
stop the recording.
Yeah,
Thank you
there
all
you go.
so much.
Goodbye.
You. Wow.
Goodbye.
Bye.